What's going on, guys? It's your boy Andy Matrix, and check this out. Check this out. Remember Cowboy Bebop, the disaster that was Cowboy Bebop, the Netflix live action Cowboy Bebop specifically?
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
Guess what? Guess what? The creator freaking hates it. If to be more specific, the creator of the anime, the original Cowboy Bebop anime, he watched a scene from the live action, from the Netflix live action of Cowboy Bebop, and he hated it. He couldn't stomach one more scene, right? And this is coming from Bounty into Comics. Right, says Cowboy Bebop creator Shinichiro Watanabe says he was only able to stomach one scene of the Netflix live action series. So let's go ahead and get into it. I am so excited about this article. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for future notifications. I talk about anime, manga, video games, geek culture, Japanese culture. If you're into any of that stuff, then make sure to subscribe, guys. Let's get to it. Oh my goodness. So it says, it seems that it wasn't just fans who were unhappy with Netflix's absolute mishandling of the beloved space western series. Original Cowboy Bebop anime creator Shinichiro Watanabe has admitted that he couldn't bring himself to suffer through more than one scene of the streaming service live action abomination. I like how they call it an abomination. Right? And then down here, they go on to say, following brief, look back at his past profiles, including, Blue Comet, Leisner, Gundam 0083. He worked on Gundam? Oh, shoot. Right? And of course, Cowboy Bebop, Watanabe was asked for his thoughts on the Netflix Cowboy Bebop live action, to which he revealed that he was, to say the least, not a fan. He says, for the new Netflix live action adaptation, they sent me a video to review and check. Watanabe recall Watanabe. He said it started with a scene in a casino, which made it very tough for me to continue.
Anime was a mistake.
Yeah, and it was a very scene in the casino where like Spike shows in. Yeah, And I thought there was something wrong with that scene. Like the cinematography was great, but the scene, like it was the pacing. It was definitely the pacing that was the problem. Right? I think there was a problem with the editing in the series overall. He says, I stopped there and so only saw the opening scene. He confessed. It was clearly not Cowboy Bebop, and I realized at that point that if I wasn't involved, it would not be Cowboy Bebop. He added, I felt that maybe I should have done this, although the value of the original anime is somehow far higher now. Right? He then goes on to say, it turns out he actually worked on the Animatrix. It says, back on the Animatrix, I first got to work with people in Hollywood, said the director, reflecting on his short for the Animatrix anthology, Kid Story. That was that was one of my favorite stories in the Animatrix, by the way. Right? It says, working with those kinds of people is always difficult. You think? This is because at the beginning, they promised me that I could do whatever I wanted, but that's just lip service. That is so true. That is so true. And I think this happens all the time to a lot of people in Hollywood. Like, for example, Tim Burton. Tim Burton working on Wednesday, Wednesday Addams. Netflix was probably like, hey, Tim Burton, you can do whatever you want with this show. And he was like, okay, cool. And then later on, they were like, when he started writing the script and directing, they were like, hey, by the way, can you add this into it? We need you to add this. Make sure she says this line, this line, this line. Make sure you have this blue check mark and this blue check mark. Now that being said, Wednesday was not the most WOKE show out there, but it was actually a good show. I actually liked it. I actually really liked it. But that's the point. It's just lip service. They always tell the director, you can do whatever you want, and then they turn around and kind of like do the opposite. So he goes on to say, actually, I had a big altercation with a Hollywood producer on the Animatrix, Watanabe recounted. He would always come with these stupid requests. Stupid requests. Says just so he could identify his own contribution, he continued, as these requests were stupid and made no sense, I rejected all of them. Unfortunately, I couldn't win in this situation, so I had to concede on some of these things. Right? It says, I learned from this bitter experience, though, the director affirmed. For subsequent projects, I became smarter at handling people who wanted to interfere in that. I would send back very small corrections or just adjustment just before the deadline. That tended to work. Great. Then he says, in Japan, you sometimes get producers that are similar to American ones. Watanabe said, you always sometimes find good producers in America. And then he says, the original producer of the Animatrix was a really good guy, he noted. He understood my work and didn't give me to a stupid request. However, he had to leave due to family issues, but his successor, called Spencer Lamb, was awful. I like how he just calls out the director's name. All right, and then down here, they kind of go on to talking about Dragon Ball, right? Basically saying that Akira Toriyama had to come out of retirement to fix Dragon Ball or rebuild the image of Dragon Ball because, you know, the Dragon Ball Evolution movie, you know, Dragon Ball Evolution, it was an absolute disaster. We all know how that went. We don't have to like go over that. But yeah, man. So when even the director hates, you know, the live action, you know that the fans were right. You know that the fans were right because when Cowboy Bebop, the live action with John Cho and all of that, it was on Netflix for 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, then they decided, nope, canceling. They canceled season 2 because it was that bad. They knew after the backlash. In only 3 weeks, poof. But anyways, whatever your thoughts are, make sure to comment below, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for future notifications. It's your boy Andy Matrix. Godspeed.